family, son.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. Now, I've been away from the platform for a while, so I'm really excited to get back into making videos, and I thought I'd start with something just a little bit more casual than my usual fare. With it getting close to the end of the year, I found myself thinking about whether or not this was a good year for gaming. So I thought I'd make a rundown of my favourite games of 24. Now, this list won't be horror related, and just like the Game Awards, DLC is fair game, and the games also won't be in a particular order. Let's go! Right, let's kick this list off with the first piece of DLC for Alan Wake 2, Night Springs. A series of 3 episodes for the Twilight Zone inspired in-game TV series written by Alan as an attempt to escape the dark place. This one was just a brilliant bit of campy fun and well worth a playthrough, especially Timebreaker starring Shawn Ashmore. Next up, we've got another piece of DLC, but this one is bigger than some games I paid full price for. Shadow of the Erdtree was probably the most challenging game I played this year, but I did really enjoy my time in the Lands of Shadow. There really is nothing quite like banging your head against a wall until you get through. Let's continue this list with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This was definitely the longest game I played, and I'm so glad that I did. Having played the original when it came out, I know I'm old, this was a massive treat for me. It brought me back to my younger days, filling me with a nostalgic warmth, whilst building on what made the original so special. It's just all around a great game. Apart from Gears and Gambit, that can get in the bin. Next up, we have a game that I was really looking forward to because it was coming from the creator of Silent Hill, Keiichiro Toyama. Slitterhead was a pretty unique experience and the only game on the list that I wouldn't necessarily recommend for everyone. It has a hard to follow story that doesn't really answer any of its questions, the combat's a bit clunky, and it's lacking almost any voice acting. So why is it on my list? Well, that's a very hard question for me to answer. All I know is that I enjoyed it for some reason. Maybe pick it up if you see it in a sale. And here we've got the Game of the Year winner, Astro Bot. I put so many hours into this game with my daughters, and it was a genuine privilege to be able to share my hobby with them. It's a beautiful and heartwarming nostalgia trip through PlayStation history, with genuinely interesting game mechanics, and probably the greatest use of the DualSense's haptics. If you have kids to play with, or perhaps you are the kid and want to get your parents interested in what you enjoy, this is a fantastic option, and it's well deserving of its accolades. Right, back to Alan Wake 2 with the second piece of DLC, the Lakehouse. This follows Agent Kieran Estevez as she investigates the FBC research station off the shore of Cauldron Lake, and I can tell you this one's well worth a playthrough if you like horror games. I loved my time with this one. The story had no business being as good as it was, and the only bad thing that I can think about it is that I would have preferred it to be longer. This next one's actually the last game that I completed. It's Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, and goddamn was this game a treat, whisking me back to the days of watching the originals as a kid, sat on the floor in my living room thinking how cool it would be to explore ancient ruins. It really fulfilled the fantasy of being an explorer, and getting to punch the shit out of a bunch of black shirts and Nazis was pretty fun too. Here we are, the last game on the list. Of course, it's the remake of Silent Hill 2. This was by far my most anticipated game of the last few years. The original has such a special place in my heart, and that made me worry that this one wouldn't really live up to it. But Bloober Team somehow managed to capture the feeling of the original one, whilst expanding and altering it. Now, this list isn't in order, but if I did have to pick a favourite game of the year, this would be it. It's never going to replace the original game, and I don't think it's really better than it, but man, they got close. Well, there it is, my favourite games of 2024. Now there's still loads to play in my backlog. I've got Still Wakes the Deep, Alone in the Dark, Metaphor, the list goes on and on. So this isn't a definitive list, I just wanted to get back to making videos now that I've got a bit of time. Thank you so much if you've made it this far in the video. Like and subscribe, help me get to the 500 mark, and drop a comment, let me know what was your favourite game of this year. Happy Christmas to all of you that celebrate it, and peace and love to everyone else. I'll see you in the next video.